Attention, Arsenal fans! We have hot information that you can't miss. A bombastic offer is shaking up the clubs behind the scenes, and movements in the transfer market could change the future of the Gunners. Do you want to know who is in Mikel Arteta's sights and which player could be on his way out? Stay with me until the end, because this news will take you by surprise. And let's move on to today's news. But first, just check if you're already subscribed to the channel, because the next videos will be a series of content that will help you stay informed about everything related to Arsenal. The Gunners. Turn on the notification bell and select the all option. Once that's done, we'll send you everything last minute that comes out of Arsenal's back rooms. Gunners, we have a goal of likes to reach this video of 120 likes. In the last video, we reached the goal in less than an hour. Prove that you are a real Gunners and leave a like so we can reach this goal soon. Arsenal are determined to strengthen their squad, especially after the frustrating defeat to Manchester United, which highlighted some gaps in the squad. Despite dominating the match with 26 shots, only 7 were on target, and the only goal scored came from an accidental deflection by Gabriel Magalhaes. The situation was further complicated by the injury to Gabriel Jesus, making it clear that the team urgently needs a decisive striker. Among the Gunners' main targets is Victor Gyarso, Sporting Lisbon striker, who is having a spectacular season. With 32 goals in 30 matches, including 21 in the Portuguese league alone, Gyarso stood out, surpassing names like Mohamed Salah and Erling Haaland. It is no surprise that Arsenal are interested in this talent, but the price set by Sporting, $80 million, represents a challenge. Still, the London club is determined to explore all options to make this signing viable in the next transfer window. At the same time, Arsenal keeps its radar on for other alternatives. Benjamin Sesko, who opted for RB Leipzig last summer, remains an interesting option. Another name observed is Nico Williams, a standout from Athletic Bilbao, although negotiations with him could be complicated due to his high salaries. Regardless of who arrives, the focus of Mikel Arteta's team is to secure reinforcements capable of keeping them competitive in all competitions. Meanwhile, there is movement also involving the midfield. A Gunners player, valued at £12 million, aroused the interest of Flamengo, one of the giants of Brazilian football. Conversations may progress depending on the coach's plan for the squad. With so many moves underway, Arsenal are willing to invest heavily to achieve a more consistent performance. The search for key pieces is essential to consolidate the team among the best in Europe. The next few weeks promise to be intense, with the Gunners determined to turn those ambitions into reality. Arsenal is experiencing a moment of reflection and strategic movement in the transfer market. After the defeat to Manchester United, it was clear that the offensive sector still needs adjustments. While Mikel Arteta has publicly demonstrated confidence in his attacking options, his performance on the pitch tells a different story. Kai Havertz wasted important opportunities, and Gabriel Jesus, who had been a key player, left the field with an injury that appears to be serious. In an interview, Arteta acknowledged the challenges. "I'm very happy with the players we have. When you look at the amount of goals we scored, it's more than enough to win the Premier League. But the reality is that someone is doing more, and that is the reality of life." Despite his apparent satisfaction, the coach knows he needs a reinforcement capable of making a difference in attack, especially in a market as restricted as January. In this context, Dusan Vlahovic's name once again gained strength behind the scenes. The Serbian striker, currently at Juventus, is a player that Arteta has admired for a long time. According to sources, Arsenal have made a loan offer to sign Vlahovic this summer. However, the Italian club turned down the initial offer, although there are signs that the player's departure is not completely ruled out. The Gunners' interest in the Serbian is nothing new, and the next few weeks could be decisive in defining the player's future. At the same time, Arsenal continues to keep an eye on Benjamin Sesko, a promising youngster from RB Leipzig. Sesko, who slipped off the club's radar last summer, remains a strategic target to strengthen the attack. Arteta's side are willing to explore all possibilities to ensure they have the depth needed to compete at a high level in the remaining competitions. Another curious detail about Vlahovic's situation is the possible negotiation between Juventus and with Manchester United involving a swap with Anthony Martial. This signals that the Italian club are, in fact, open to discussing the Serbian striker's departure, which could reignite Arsenal's hopes. With so many variables at play, Arsenal are focused on finding the right piece to boost their attack. The January window may be short and challenging, but the club knows that every decision now will be crucial to their season ambitions. All that remains is to wait for the next steps in this busy race in the transfer market. The search for a striker who can raise Arsenal's level remains one of the most discussed topics around the club. Among the names highlighted, Dusan Vlahovic is constantly associated with the Gunners. His abilities not only caught the attention of fans and experts, but also figures such as Micah Richards, who, in 2021, even described him as lightning. During a discussion on BBC Radio 5 Live, Richards highlighted Vlahovic's talent, praising his left foot like a magic wand and his impressive goal-scoring numbers that season. In the current campaign for Juventus, the Serbian has maintained his consistency, scoring 12 goals in 24 matches, which reaffirms his ability as a constant threat to opposing defenses. For Mikel Arteta, who is looking for a robust solution for Arsenal's attack, Vlahovic would be a piece that combines speed, finishing power, and physical presence, essential characteristics for a team with title aspirations. With the transfer window underway and rumors that Juventus would be willing to negotiate, the possibility of seeing him at the Emirates is still open. Another name that entered the conversation was Victor Osimhen from Napoli. Following Arsenal's FA Cup exit to Manchester United on penalties, Micah Richards also suggested that Osimhen would be an excellent addition to the squad. He highlighted Arsenal's need for a more clinical finisher, especially after a frustrating performance against United in which chances created did not convert into goals. "You have to take advantage of the chances," said Richards, remembering that, despite dominating much of the game, Arsenal failed when it came to scoring. These options illustrate well the challenge Arteta faces. Bringing in a strong striker like Vlahovic or Osimhen will require more than financial willingness. It will be necessary to convince these players that Arsenal is the right place to achieve their goals. Regardless of who is chosen, it is clear that the need for offensive reinforcement is urgent to transform good performances into consistent results. The next few weeks promise big changes, and Gunners fans will be paying attention to see what the club's next move will be. The search for reinforcements in Arsenal's attack continues to generate discussions, but the current market scenario and the club's strategic choices add layers of complexity to the possibilities. Among the names mentioned, Victor Osimhen remains one of the most talked-about options. Napoli's 60-meter Nigerian striker could be a solution to the Gunners' attacking woes. However, competition from clubs such as Manchester United and Chelsea makes this contest even more challenging, although rumors suggest that Graham Potter's side are more inclined to sign Christopher Nkunku. Interestingly, Napoli would be willing to include Marcus Rashford, Anthony Martial, or Rasmus Højlund in a swap with United, as the English club struggles to afford the transfer fee. This creative approach to the market could influence negotiations and open up new possibilities for Arsenal. Former Gunners midfielder Emmanuel Petit had already praised Osimhen in December, highlighting his qualities as the type of player who could shine at the Emirates Stadium. Furthermore, Petit also suggested Milan's Rafael Leão as an interesting alternative, although he acknowledges that the January market is notoriously difficult for big signings. Despite pressure from fans for new names, recent reports indicate that Mikel Arteta and his technical team are satisfied with the current squad. According to David Ornstein, Arsenal's intention appears to be to trust the existing group, which does not alleviate the expectations of fans who expect a more aggressive movement in the market. It is a decision that could divide opinions, especially considering the club's need to compete at a high level and, possibly, win a title to consolidate Arteta's work. Whether or not Micah Richards' appointment to prioritize Osimhen will be considered remains uncertain. However, one thing is clear. The next few weeks will be decisive. For a club with such big ambitions, every choice, or lack thereof, will have a direct impact on the outcome of the season. With Arteta betting on his vision and squad the current one, it remains to be seen whether this confidence will be enough to keep Arsenal competitive in the main disputes. Arsenal may be moving in the transfer market to bring in new reinforcements, but they also face the risk of losing one of their most experienced players. Jorginho, signed in 2023 for £12 million from Chelsea, has become an important piece in Mikel Arteta's squad. However, the Italian midfielder is now the target of interest from Brazilian giants Flamengo, who, according to journalist Rudy Galletti, have already started talks to try to attract him to Brazil. Although no official proposal has been made, the approach signals that Jorginho's future may be open. Jorginho recently played against Manchester United, only being substituted at the end of the match, which ended up being decided on penalties. His experience and vision of the game have been praised by Arteta, but at 33 years old and with no sign of a new contract being negotiated, the possibility of a summer exit is increasingly concrete. This is not the first time that the Italian has sparked interest. A few months ago, rumors emerged about his possible move to Fenerbahce in Turkey, which shows that he continues to be an attractive player on the international market. The decision on Jorginho's future will not be simple. On the one hand, Arteta would certainly like to keep him in the squad for the leadership and consistency he offers. On the other hand, the fact that he can leave for free at the end of his contract makes a transfer now more interesting for Arsenal from a financial point of view. For the player, a move to Flamengo, one of the most successful and ambitious clubs in South America, would be a unique opportunity to end his career on a high. This situation puts Arsenal in front of a dilemma. Keep a player who can still contribute for the rest of the season, or make room in the squad for new names, taking advantage of the chance to profit from his departure. Jorginho's future is expected to be determined in the coming weeks, but one thing is certain: the Italian's experience and talent will continue to be in high demand, whether in Europe or beyond. Thank you for watching this far. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to continue receiving the next content. Access now our playlist that will appear on the screen or in the comment pinned with all the latest news from Arsenal, and stay up to date with the behind-the-scenes, highlights, last-minute controversies, transfers, everything about the Gunners team. Until the next video.